Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks take on Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Now a play fake here on first down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now the rookie first rounder from San Diego State. It's Rashad Penny. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only 1 drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties. and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Holding, receiving team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. They'll run it here with Blount. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain,
Still
off
second
or
down.
not on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Malik McDowell in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. This is Carson. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still first down.
From the gun, it's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Third and long. It's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
And 3 yards there takes them to the 45.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Right back to him on 1st down. Had a nice move but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Give the tackle to Tease Tabor that time.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll make it third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Now it's Wilson, and that is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held him to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The first carry now, this is Johnson. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still second down.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Dancing to his left. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Malik McDowell in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. That penalty against DJ Fluker, the behemoth out of Alabama.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Throwing is Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. On second down, here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The intended target, Mike Davis. And it'll bring up third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's got Lockett. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On second down, Davis. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Offense. Still second down.
After the penalty, it's Penny. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Here's Wilson to throw. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Stafford. Wilson snags it left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The best name in the NFL, Barkevious Mingo. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. K.J. Wright. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
4 down, 4 down. Kill.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford, this is Reddick on the screen. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, 2nd quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of it. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume, here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. He was trying to hit his big receiver, Brandon Marshall, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And now it's 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he fends him off. Buying time to his left. Incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And a broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
4 down, check, 4 down.
Stafford on 1st down. To the right and complete to Galladay. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And before the 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Stafford looks to throw again. Flushed out right. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage. But instead, he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing
Still
there in the
first down.
middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now Wilson on 2nd down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that's, well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded a couple yards deep. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Again, here's Blunt. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now it's Lockett. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
The Seahawks on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Play action. It's Wilson. It's caught right side. Dixon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So out now come the Lions. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Over the middle, here to Wilson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And Dixon over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Wilson now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. A dump off for Davis. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They go play action with Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Penny for a first down carry. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Here's a give to Penny. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Glover Quinn there on the stop. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And that last penalty makes this 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Completes it to Dixon. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kerry Hyder able to drop him for a loss of 4.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. From the gun, it's Wilson. And Dixon has it. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
And Janikowski bangs it through. And that will make our score 9-0. Same story continues. He's the only one that scored for them, their kicker, with all the points.
So now when we hear the chants of MVP, MVP, they're definitely aimed at him because he has been the only guy who's put points on the board in this game.
Kickers are always either the hero or the GOAT. So far, he's definitely the hero. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing is Stafford. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And Stafford's in some pain, apparently. Yet to arise following the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Lions on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 2. The veteran backup Anderson, his first throw. And yes, he found Torlolo. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st down, Stafford here. The completion to Riddick. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good. And
because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, Stafford. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
The left side completion to Jones. 23 yards on the play.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And it's 3rd and 5. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he whips that one incomplete there. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
4 down.
On second down, Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
When that ball was snapped, they were counting on it being now a one-possession game. Instead, the block occurs. That changes the whole mindset for them. And if you're the guys who just blocked it, you're floating off the field right now. Big-time play.
Yeah, big-time play. Could have been a one-score game. Instead, it stays 2 scores. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. But despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's go get it, baby. Let's go.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Again, it's Penny. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Illegal block in the back, offense.
So their move is to decline that so they don't get another 2nd down. It'll be 3rd.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their 3rd down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package, a nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to air one out. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. After the interception, here's Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Luke Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6.
Luke Wilson spent 5 years with the Seahawks, most of that time playing behind Jimmy Graham. I think he's going to get a few more looks in this Lions offense. He just capitalized on one of them right there. 11 touchdowns, 5 years with Seattle. I expect that number to jump in Detroit.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now?
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Back to throw. Caught. It's Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Back to throw. Oh, is that man again? It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
They'll look to throw. Out to the flat for Reddick. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. Call it a pickup of 7, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Blunt. And he's got this one down to the 10. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
On the ball, on the ball. 4 down, 4 down.
They'll run again with Blunt. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
toss. This is Blunt. And he's got this one down to the 10. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. On the sneak, it's Stafford. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Now a carry for Blunt. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So here's the veteran kicker, Matt Prater. He did have one blocked earlier. This time it's for the win. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And they take the lead here by a point, 10-9. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
That almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You
loved
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for Detroit, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's loss number 3 for them on the year. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.